We might be running out of juice. I've been trying to record this video I think a couple times now, but well, maybe this time. Honestly, why now? Why am I doing this video now, and what's the whole point of it? So let's start from the beginning. The last few months have been super wild, especially this month. I feel everything has just exploded in a good way. A lot of changes, a lot of new things happening, a lot of work, but at the beginning of this month it was really cool. We went to Italy, we stayed in Milan, we went to Lake Como, we took a lot of content. It was a great experience, and I was thinking to maybe make a separate video of that overall experience, so I don't want to talk about it that much, but it has been an interesting month, to be said. The whole thing of this video is to force myself to be more in front of the camera, because I'm just so used to being behind the camera and allowing myself to be free of judgment, especially coming from my own mind, and to just wing it and not to think about it too much, because YouTube is something where I always go back to when I want to learn something, I want to study something. It's honestly the best university I personally have ever been to. I learned to play guitar through YouTube. I learned how to use cameras, how to do lighting and to edit videos and everything like that. So it's been an incredible tool for me, and I always feel this pull towards it. And I think since I can remember, I've always felt that I want to at some point at least find a way how to be on YouTube, maybe talk to people, maybe create my own community, maybe encourage people to go out there to find their passion, to do things they love, because that's exactly how I feel YouTube has been for me. And comparing to any other social media channel, honestly, YouTube is something that I always felt is the closest to my heart, at least. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot like how to do it and why now. And honestly, the best time is now. And I think over the few past years, I have had my attempts to do the YouTube video, but I always felt it's very difficult to get myself out there to really record these videos, and I have felt that I have to re-record things for them to be perfect. And yet again, I see myself watching videos of people not being perfect, and I'm being totally fine with that. So I guess my hope here is that whenever I'm putting myself out there and making mistakes and stumbling on my words or not saying things properly, that other people might feel a little bit more encouragement that, hey, there's this other guy on YouTube doing all that stuff, rambling, yapping, but they're putting things out there and maybe I can too. So what are the plans for the channel itself? I always had this impression about YouTube, or at least people who share more things about YouTube and who are way ahead of me in YouTube, that you kind of have to have this one niche you're gonna be sticking to, and you have to have this one thing you want to talk about. But I don't feel that this is the content that I like to consume, at least myself. I don't want to watch just a tech dude unboxing things or a dude just talking about watches. Like, I like to follow personalities, I like to follow journeys, I like to be inspired, I like to see what mistakes other people are making, and maybe I can learn from them, and what are other people's successes like that can push me forward towards creating my own successes. So I guess I have come to terms that there is no perfect niche for me where I can stick to, and that was something that I feel held me back for a long time. But yeah, then maybe the takeaway from this video could be as well for you, whoever is watching. I know what you're going through, I know what you're feeling in terms of maybe not feeling the most confident, maybe feeling awkward in front of the camera. But one thing I know for sure, that practice does make perfect. That's what I'm hoping to achieve as well with YouTube, because if other people can do it, why can't you and I, right? I would definitely like to talk more about overall lifestyle, to talk about business maybe, because I feel there might be other people out there who are maybe doing something similar to what I'm doing, and they are maybe in a different path at the moment in their journey. I know everybody starts somewhere, and maybe I can help them. Maybe there is some knowledge I can share, because there's a lot of that. I've gotten a lot of bad advice from all these gurus out there in terms of creative agency, or building one, or maintaining one, or expanding your team, and how to do that. So much fucking shitty information and advice out there that just doesn't apply anymore, and it usually comes from people who don't even own the business anymore, and they're just selling you something they learned years ago, but they're not actively doing themselves. So you can already assume that that advice is just not valid anymore, and the time is always moving forward. There's always new ways, there's always things that have been already exhausted in terms of how do you go about client acquisition, how do you go about onboarding, offboarding, how you go about, let's say, even the software you use, how do you go about, let's say, gaining momentum, or, you know, talking to your clients, whatever the case, right? If you have any questions, just leave it into the comments. Let's discuss, let's talk about it, and maybe we can learn from each other. So I will see you next time.